Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising, everybody. How is everybody doing this AM? How are you all doing this beautiful AM? Okay, Queen Crystal, I see you front and center with your camera on. I love it. We got two Crystals. Okay, Crystal T, Crystal Clark, and y'all both came in with your cameras on. I absolutely love it. How y'all doing this beautiful AM? What's going on, King Joe? I see you. Queen Sandra, how are you, Sandra? Who else we have in here? I cannot see. I need to get my eyeglasses checked, y'all. Don't y'all do this to me this morning. Is that India? Is that how you pronounce that? You driving? Hey, beautiful. How is everything going? Queen Darlene, Queen April, how is everybody feeling? How do you pronounce that? Is that King Karazin? Karazin? How do you pronounce that? Karazin? Yes? Karazin? What is it? Corazon. Oh, I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna get this together, King. Good to see you in here. Grand Rising, everybody. How is everybody feeling? Hey, Queen Lynn, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, yesterday, right? Everybody came in here and y'all gave yourselves permission on that Monday. But today, it's a transformational Tuesday. I want everybody to put transformation in the chat. Put transformation in the chat. Y'all already gave yourselves permission, right? You signed that permission slip. It's signed, sealed, and delivered. Now I want you to understand that it's time to move with speed. We are moving with speed because transformation is just not about the decisions that you're making. It's about the direction that you're going in. And so in this room, especially when you are in this room with this king, our mindset mogul, you're going to learn that the faster you align with your assignment, the sooner you have access to the abundance that you want, the life that you want to live. So today, I want y'all to think about this. Visualize the fact that I don't want you to think that you're crawling to your calling. Okay? You might want to put that in the chat. We're not crawling to our calling, we're running toward it. And there's only one person inside this room that truly helps us shift our mindsets. He is this king that is going to help us, I would say, execute with precision. He's going to help us unlock different levels of our greatness that we didn't even know we had inside of us. So I want y'all to help me, like always, welcome. I love introducing Sean Crewmate, King Crew, Two Comma Crew, but he is the mindset mogul. And if you don't know by now, you're going to soon find out that he is a best-selling author. But more so than anything else, and I don't know where this is coming from right now, but I would like to call him right now a master of mental wealth. I don't know, King Crew. Did you pay me to say that one? I don't know. He's a master of mental wealth, everybody. Put that in the chat. A master of mental wealth. Put it in the chat. And right after that, I want you to put mindset in all caps because he is always going to be the one who turns your mindset into a tool set so that you can secure your assets. So at this time, everybody, I want everybody to unmute. I need everybody to come off mute so we can welcome our mindset mogul, everybody. Come off mute, y'all.
Welcome,
Good
welcome,
morning. How you doing? I'm ready to hear what you
welcome.
got to say. You
Good
got really great.
morning.
Oh,
Grand
my
Rising.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Rising.
Joining us today,
Grand Rising, everybody.
Grand
Master of
Oh,
Mental
Rising.
Wealth.
Yes.
Good morning,
Yes. Good
everybody.
Morning.
morning.
Good
Grand
morning. Good
Rising.
morning.
All
Hello,
right,
I'm
all
lady.
looking
right.
forward.
Yeah, I know I got the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop.
That's right. That's right.
Clap it up, snap it up for you. Let's go. Snap it up, clap it up for you. If you know that you are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop, this one is for you. I want you to go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. Go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. Let's get this board so I can see everyone's faces. I did hear you mention about mental wellness. I didn't pay you to write that one, Sunshine. Maybe Chat GPT was the influence on that one. It wasn't me. Okay. Shout out to Chat. All right. I heard you calling out some name. It said your name was Corazon or Corazon. Long as you're not crazy in here, that's what matters the most. Go ahead, put your trophy emoji in the chat. Look, Miss Crystal T like that. That was an old school joke. Y'all don't know nothing about that, okay? Whippersnappers. All right, whippersnappers. What's going on? Eve, put the trophy emoji in the chat. Miss Aline, put the trophy emoji in the chat. Miss Felicia, put the trophy emoji in the chat. You are the MVP. Somebody put MVP in the chat. Miss Graceland, what's going on? How we feeling today? Jojo, what's going on? Put the trophy emoji in the chat. The reason why I'm calling you out is because guess what? If everybody else doubted you, if everybody else said you couldn't and said that you wouldn't, I'm here to tell you that you can. I'm here to tell you that you will. I'm here to count you in. Somebody put I counted me in the chat. Somebody put I counted me in the chat. Look, the reason why we have you make these prompts and give yourself these affirmations is because whatever you tune into, you turn into. Whatever is your frequency is what shows up in your life frequently. So if I can't celebrate you and you can't accept it, other people can't celebrate you and you won't accept it. But it's not about me celebrating you. It's about you celebrating you. Somebody put in the chat, I counted me in because people probably counted you out. So what I want to do before I get started with the reading today, raise your virtual hand if you did the homework. If you actually cleaned the space, there was some sort of benefit you got from cleaning the space. Raise your virtual hand and let's share. If you were able to give yourself permission, what did you give yourself permission to do? And I do want to keep it to 30 seconds or less so that way we are respectful of other people who have their hands up. Unfortunately, we won't get to everyone, but be the first ones to raise the hand. Sunshine, would you mind guiding this with me? Would you mind guiding this with me as I get some of this mindset max out? Yeah.
Queen Jennifer, come talk to us, love.
Send a request to unmute. There we go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Oh, absolutely. Hello. Good morning,
How are you
everybody.
doing?
Grand Rising,
I'm
love.
doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm happy to
Good.
be here.
Good to see you. So did you do the homework yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, tell us a
I
little bit
did.
about it. We're gonna put 30 seconds on the clock. And just do your best to tell us in 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, I definitely did the clarity challenge where I just actually posted where I had cleaned off my desk because I had dismantled it by being out of town. I just ripped it all apart and took it with me. And I just let it sit there for 2 or 3 weeks. And this was the perfect time because I don't know when I was gonna get around and doing it like in the, most recent time. Like I just been putting it off. Um, yeah, and then I give myself permission to be vulnerable and work on my healing. There's some past traumas that I have overcome some things, but it's like some lingering stuff that I noticed about myself. And I just, I'm in my authentic phase right now where I don't care.
Mm.
Mhm.
Finish that last statement. You were in your authentic phase where you don't care. Go ahead.
I don't care what is being perceived of me as much as I used to because I'm being myself and I'm not being pigeonholed or people pleasing.
Okay, I like that. Absolutely like that. Great job. Everybody send some love in the chat. When you cleaned up your space, what did you notice? Because you let it sit for two weeks. What did you notice once it was clean?
I noticed that like I did feel it a little bit of a weight lifting off. And I forgot how beautiful this space is, without all the clutter. And, it reminds me of my talent and my uniqueness.
I like that. I like that. Everyone send some love in the chat. Go
Mhm.
ahead. Go ahead. Thank you, Miss Jennifer. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Crystal T, come talk to us, love.
So have a unmute. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? Okay. Good morning, everyone. I gave myself permission to really focus on me. I'm one of those people that try to avail myself to everyone's need. And so it's my turn. So that's what I gave myself permission to do, is really focus on me. I today just told everyone that I can't show up for them because I'm showing up for me. So that's what I'm doing today. As far as my
Okay,
space, I
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
yes,
question, real quick, because we ran out of time on that. But I want you to get this out. What sort of emotion is coming up for you in that moment when you think about giving all of what you've given to other people?
I haven't taken time, that real time for myself. And I've decided that it's my turn. I step back and put myself aside to help others. And that's important to me. But my cup is empty. And when I started this class, I realized, what I mean, it just put it in my face what I have been doing. And I can no longer do
Mm.
that. I love the people that I
Okay,
love
hold
and
on,
try to
hold
help.
on. Hold on right there, Miss Crystal. I want you to stay there. Sometimes we'll talk ourselves over the problem, which is something that I see that you do, where you've been dealing with. Well, first of all, how explicit can I be with you? How
Very,
explicit can I be with you? Okay, so
very.
what I'm going to do, everyone, I'm not going to hold back because there's no point for that. I'm not going to be rude or disrespectful in any way, but I am going to look for your best interest in ways that you may not see. So the reason why we have what we have is because of what we know. And that's also the reason why we're at where we're at currently, right? Makes sense? Somebody put make sense in the chat so we're clear here. The reason why we don't have what we want to have and we're not where we want to be is because of the things that we can't see. So for you, you've been dealing with this a long time. This is not something new. I can tell by what you're doing because your actions and words matter, and I'm combining the two. I've been trained to listen. I'm not a person that came off the street with entrepreneurship and woke up and just do a mindset. That's not what I've done. I've actually went to school for this. I've been trained. I have a master's in communication, a degree, also bachelor degree in multimedia. Right. So I know how to do websites and build all of that stuff up. But right now I'm using the communication side, and listening is one of the things that we should put emphasis on, and listening. So I'm hearing that what you do is, and you internalize these things that you're giving and you're giving and you're giving, but then you kind of just breeze past it and step over it and just keep going. But what's making you slow down now and say, you know what? I need to prioritize me.
Well, to be quite honest, I am a mature woman. My daughter's grown, my grands are, they're there and I love them. But I just feel like it's my time. I am what we call in our society a senior. And so, as they say, I have more years behind me than I do in front of me. Useful years to really live out my life, my purposeful life. And that's what I'm wanting now.
Okay, I got you. I want to say one last thing because I'm running out of time. I don't know if you all can see the time. Can we all see the time? But we just want to make sure. On this one, we've been 3 minutes and change. So I want you to think of this. First of all, wipe your tears, right? I understand that this is a tough thing, and I want you to be happy, right? And I want us to know that life is a delicate thing, and you're just like a plant. We're all like plants, okay? We have to water ourselves, we have to nurture ourselves, and when we cry, that's the watering. We grow from that. So don't be afraid to cry. What that crying is telling you is that there's some sort of thing inside of you that needs to come out, and that thing is your greatest version. It's you prioritizing you. And I want to see that for the rest of this week. If this was impactful, just the testimony of Miss Crystal, if that was impactful, go ahead and put something in the chat. They're already lighting up the chat for you. They're sending a lot of love. So I want you to know you are appreciated 100%. And if anyone else feels like crying, please do so. This is the space. Everyone send some love to Miss Crystal. We'll whatever you didn't share, put it in the Telegram, okay? Or put it inside the Facebook group. Either way. Everyone send some love in the chat. Thank you, Miss Crystal. Next person.
King Major, come talk to us, King.
Oh, okay. Hey, good morning, everybody. I gave my first I cleaned my room. I got like two more things to do. I didn't get a chance to vacuum because I had to go pick up a client from the airport. Um, and what I gave my permission to for myself is to feel. A lot of things as men we don't get to feel a lot. So I've been real honest about my feelings about a lot of stuff. Even when I'm upset, if I'm joyful, like really being transparent with that with myself and my family. That's what I gave my permission to do. And it feels good is actually being aware of where I'm at.
Ah, I like that. I like that. As a man, I'm proud of you, number one, to come up here and share. It's not as easy as people may think it's may be. Are you married? Or you have a girlfriend? Are you looking, you dating?
Yeah, I have a girlfriend and she's been great because she's a she's a therapist too. So and one thing we learned was our traumas would kind of clash a little bit. So we had to really break that down and figure it out. And a lot of the stuff was with me. And she had some stuff too, but I had to really go back in and in a relationship, it's a mirror. So it reflected a lot of ugly that I thought I dealt with. And I had to go see a therapist and talk that stuff out. But I learned a lot and I grew from that. So the goal is to continue to grow that. And now I'm in a men group where we all men talk about that stuff. So um and giving ourselves permission to feel what we feel, but don't allow our emotions to control our reaction. Just understand them better. So, and that's
Mm,
where I'm giving myself more permission to understand, because as you know, bro, like we just don't get that opportunity to do that.
absolutely. I want to say everyone send some love in the chat. And if you are looking for a man group, we do offer those, by the way. So I like that. But what I did differently with the group is that I put women in the group, because a lot of
Hmm.
times we split women and we split men, and then we go, you have your own group, you have your own group. That's not really helping us as much as when we come together collectively, because that is where the life is going to be spent anyway.
No,
Now, I
facts.
understand. I
No,
understand the reason
no.
why I asked if you had a girl. Go ahead. There's a delay, so I
No,
don't
no,
want you to think I'm
I was
talking over
just
top of you.
no. I'm my bad. I was just saying no facts, facts. I agree. My bad.
So the true thing is this is about relationships, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
Everything that I'm going to demonstrate you or put you through in your personal is going to translate to your business and vice versa. So one of the things that we speak about is having men and women in the same conversation. So just a quick understanding of this, of what I'm saying, so everybody can relate to it. When girls are growing up, they're taught to play with dolls. From the moment they come out, they're able to talk and walk, right? If they can walk and talk at 1 years old, they got a doll baby in their face, and then by 2 years old, they're playing house. What's the fundamental issue with that? The fundamental issue is that the boys can't play with the dolls, so to speak, and then they don't let them play house together. So what ends up manifesting in this world? A woman grows up using her own imagination and creating her life with her own imagination. And then a guy grows up creating his life with his own imagination. And then you want to get together and date. And then now we have issues. And now the quote unquote, the men don't know how to nurture the children or don't know how to become fathers, because guess what? The entire time they were told not to. And then they're expected one day to wake up to be this Prince Charming that is an illusion that the woman has. But that's a whole nother thing. But this is why we have a collective group where women and men both get to speak and share. And that is true transformation. And I love what you said, King. So anything you want to add before we let you go?
I just need just some way to get to that group, honestly, bro, because that'll be even something more growth can be in that. So I love to kind of be participating in that, actually.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because right now you're in it. Right now, you are in it. You're getting a taste of what this is. And let me just show you. Go look in the chat and look how many women respond to you and what you're saying. So go ahead, look at the chat. Everyone send some love if you haven't already. Great job. Great job. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the hands right here, and I want to go into the reading for today. Before I go into reading, did we see the poll that was put out? So we put a poll out. Out of 100 people on this poll, 54 people actually did the poll, which let's be real here. Let's be real. I know some of you are driving. I know some of you are at work. I know all of that. So I'm factoring in that, but I'm just showing you the numbers. Okay. I'm showing you the numbers. What ends up happening is that you have this dream, you have this goal, you go do what you need to do to get the goal. But since you never cleared up things from the past, you still have things in your way, which makes it harder for you to get to where you want to be. Some of that we're going to clear up. I want to do the results on this poll. So what space, the question one, can we see it? Can we see the results? I have the results on the end, but I don't think you can see it here, but I'll read them off. It says, what's the space you've been avoiding the most lately? And an outstanding 52% said my mind. I've been mentally cluttered. If that was you, put a one in the chat. We don't know who this is, but if that's you, put a one in the chat. And I think the next one said 31%. My desk, my office is a war zone. If we can't create space and clarity in which we operate from, then the way that we operate will be in clutter. Okay. So these are things that we want to make sure you see the correlation to it. Also within that space, we could tell, like, if you've been stressed out in your mind, it's going to manifest in your actual world. Hey, Miss Jasmine, it's good to see you. You're going to manifest in the physical world. So if you ever see a family member, you see their house is messy, junky, take them out for a little walk for, ice cream, vegan ice cream. Take them out for or some sorbet. So sorbet, take them out, maybe a smoothie or something, not a coffee, not some smoothie, juice, real juice. And just help them because their mind is pretty much cluttered. And maybe you just might be that help that they need. Cool. Number two, it says, when was the last time you did something just for you, guilt-free? 33% said, honestly, I can't remember. A few people said, I think it's 20%. Yeah, 20% said today. That was good. Shout out to you. 22% said this week. So we're making some progress. And 24% said this month. I want us to be able to do things for ourselves every day while we're helping other people. Okay. Don't put yourself on the back burner. I feel like I want to go to number 3 now, and then I want to get into the book and then do the guided meditation. What's hardest about giving yourself permission to pause and reset? Most people, which is 44%, said they feel like they're falling behind. A few other people said, I don't know where to start. And honestly, I just forget to. How many of us are forgetting? Like, we set these reminders, we put it in the calendar, or we put it in our minds, and we just forget. It's not that we don't want to do, we just forget. Put it in the chat. The reason why we forget is because every day you are set with a certain amount of impressions of what they will call it. When you wake up and you immediately turn your phone on, that's an impression. When you scroll, impression. When you read, one word, one sentence, impression. One letter, impression. Your mind can only handle 44 million impressions per day. So when you run out of your impressions, what do you think happens? Let me know in the chat. What do you think happens? Let me know in the chat. When you run out of impressions, what happens? You start to slow down. You start to forget. Think about the computer or think about your cell phone. When it's filled up with so much storage, what happens? Everything that you see that was made in the image and likeness of humanity. All of the technology. Anyway, that's another. I don't even have enough time to get to this stuff. Okay. Information so vast, I don't even have enough time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Becoming More Effective in Less Time. Who has the book? If you have your book, I'm gonna give you a second to go get it. If you have the ebook, I'll give you a second to flip over to that. What I'm going to do is, for people who don't have it, I'm going to put it on the screen. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it right now. I'll put it on the screen. I think we're going to go to chapter 4. So turn to chapter 4. Turn to chapter 4. Okay, let's get that up on the screen. Okay. So inside of the chapter 4, we're going over to the section that says it's in your approach. I used to think that maybe I did things in a harder way compared to other ways that could be much easier. How many of us Yana with that? YANA. You are not alone. How many of us Yana with that? One of my mentors, Lisa Nichols, she taught me that. Yana. Okay. If you agree, if I'm not alone over here, let me know. So cool. As we continue to read, it says, I wondered if I could be doing something and thinking it's working, but in fact, there was an easier and more effective way to do the same thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we're starting to realize something. Let me know if we're starting to realize something. I think that that most of us agree with this. Now, as we continue to read, it follows this way. It says, the more I thought about it, the more my mind discovered that my approach to many things was a lot harder than it needed to be. Then I thought that most people probably also go through life making decisions, making choices, and just approaching situations in a more challenging manner when there could be a easier way. So upon my discovery, this is what I found. As we go to the next page, next paragraph, this is what I discovered. I think we've been conditioned, and I think we've done it ourselves, right? I think we've conditioned ourselves to take a harder route in life. That's because most people think the harder route is the more honorable than the easier one. Let me know in the chat if that's how you feel. If you feel like the harder route is more easy, you know what? I'm not going to ask for help. You know what? I'm not going to raise my hand for this. You know what? I'll just figure it out. You know what? Instead of just watching and just going with the flow of the way life is presenting itself, I'm going to overthink about the smallest problems and make them into bigger ones. I know they gave me an answer, but I just need to know more why. I know I should just jump in and just do it scared, but you know what? I need to be certain that I get a certain outcome. Where nothing is ever certain in life, but I just got to make sure it's certain though. Okay. I think we kind of are starting to get it. Somebody put ego in the chat, right? I want you to think about the acronym. Everything God opposes. Everything God opposes. That's what ego is. But let's continue to read. Right? It says, we've been heavily conditioned to make harder choices in life and to always work hard, so much so that we don't even realize when we're making the harder choice. Let me know in the chat if you resonate with that. Let me know in the chat if you resonate. Okay? Let me know in the chat. So as we continue to read, it says, we've been heavily conditioned to make harder choices in life and to always work hard, so much so that we don't even realize we are making harder choices or approaching a situation in a more difficult manner than required. I want you to think about which things that you approach life in is in a difficult way that you could just make an easier choice. Put it in the chat though. Put it in the chat. I want you to put it in the chat. So one of the things that we're going to learn today really quickly is how to renovate, innovate, collaborate. Somebody put that in the chat. Renovate, innovate, collaborate. So the renovate, innovate, collaborate method is a method that I created based upon tons of evidence and extensive research that showed me that when you are renovating your life, your beliefs, changing the way you operate, which is the innovation, and then collaborating with people, that's the method to get ahead. I've looked at it from childhood. I looked at it from adulthood. I looked at it from business. I looked at it from school. And then during my findings within school, I uncovered a roadblock. See, the reason why most of us do it the hard way is because school has taught us that there is only one way. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I want you to think. School has taught us that there's only one way. So we go through life wanting to be certain that is this way. How many of us agree? How many of us yana with that? I see someone asking for there's no discount code for this book or anything like that. There's no discount. The discount is if you go to Amazon, you could get it on Amazon, but there's no discount um, for this actual thing. So cool. We are going through, and the reason, one of the things, I have dyslexia growing up, and I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't want to share this. Sometimes it creeps up in my mind right now. I don't know if y'all seen it. It did creep up on me while I was reading it just now, but I don't let it get the best of me. What I let it do was have me find another way. Okay. And I don't actually share that. I don't even know if Sunshine even knew that. Or my niece, she's on the back end helping out too. And I don't think they knew that because I don't share those problems. I just found a solution. So before I continue to read, I just want you to understand something. School made us think that there is only one way. So we've been looking for the one way, but you must renovate, innovate, collaborate to get to that next level of life. So as we read, it says, getting more effective in less time does not mean starting from scratch. Rather, it's most effective to use what is already at your disposal, right? So I want you to think about this. When I was having those dyslexia issues in school, and I was looking for different ways to do the math, and I was a math whiz because I was figuring out different ways to do math, which later on I realized this is how they come up with all these different types of math, because other people are figuring out different ways to do math, and you get paid to figure out different ways to do math. But why didn't they just tell us that when we were children, instead of making us feel bad that I had to look for a different way to do math? And I'm excelling in school. I've done a lot of things, but one thing I discovered was that if we remove the fact of thinking about being right or wrong, it gives you so much relief, and you can remove some of that baggage that you can start moving with speed. So somebody, I want you to put in the chat, there's no right or wrong. No right or wrong. Put it in the chat. I want you to put into the chat that there's no right, there's no wrong. There's no right, there's no wrong. You know what there is? There's workable and non-workable. What's workable in your life? What's non-workable? So as we continue to read, we'll start to discover some of the things that's non-workable. A lot of this is reprogramming your mindset, right? Reframing the way you see things and the way you say things, because what you say turns into what you see, and what you see turns into what you say. This is why you were singing heartbreak music as a kid, and then you wonder why in your relationship, what happened? You got the heartbreak that you've been singing about. You've been in the car with your parents singing the heartbreak music. Don't know what you're singing. You just know it sounds good because everybody else is singing it. You singing your heart out with it too. And then guess what you did, not knowing? Manifested it. Uh-oh, did I hurt your feelings? Listening to Tony Braxton, listening to Moesha or what, Brandy. I don't know which one it is. Is it Moesha or Brandy? Anyway, I know. Like they were talking about the same guy or something with what's her name, Monica. And now look what happened. Now you date the guy that got the same girl. Like, oh, now you're going through the struggle. I want you to think about this. Whitney Houston right now. Whitney Houston was good. Like Whitney Houston was tremendous. I think she could wake the dead if you know. I might have to try that out. But as we continue to read, and I'm not going to stop anymore to give you a little anecdotes on the side. I'm just going to continue to go through. This formula allows us to easily know our next moves, right? So it says, I encourage you to use this to measure your growth, to create the blueprint for your next move in your career, business, or relationship. You see, this method can work for all three because this is all about relationships. All of this is relationship building. So as you may have guessed, there are 3 essential steps to this method. What are the steps in the method? Put it in the chat. What are the steps in the method? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Renovate, innovate, collaborate. Okay. When it comes to renovation, you think about a house. When it comes to fixing up a house, you might have to have a full gut. You might have to gut everything inside that property. Or you might have to do a light rehab. When we got our very first property that we sold for 1.2 million and then made collectively as brothers our very first 5-figure days, we didn't have to do a full gut. We had to do a light rehab. Some of you might have to do a full gut. You've been through some trauma. You've been through some things. Some of you might just need some light rehab. You know, you had a bump in the road, some roadblocks, just need to touch things up, okay? So the way we want to think about it in business is you want to renovate, take something that already exists and add value to it, fix it up, make it into something new. And then for the innovation process, right? Well, before I move on, the renovation process, if you want to look at it in a simplified version, change your beliefs, change what you see, change what you listen to, change how you think. And then number 2 is innovation. You want to change how you operate, right? Innovate. After you add the value, add your own specific twist, spin, and signature to it. When it comes to real estate, what we did as the innovation process, we put new appliances in there. We put new flooring, new cabinets, and it just looked pristine, like, wow, this is a beautiful place. That's the same thing with yourself, right? Your inner self. Maybe do some more meditation, some more breath work, speak in a positive way, think in a positive way, treat others as if they are luxury, or not just luxury, but if they are quality, right? And the reason for that is because the last one is collaborate. When you work with others, this is how you're going to go far. All of the money that you want to collect is with other people. All of the impact that you're going to make is with other people. Like all of the change, all of the inspiration, all the motivation is going to be in other people's hearts. So you must change with other people, right? But the biggest part is the collaboration. When you work with others who are already in alignment with your assignment, it's going to help you move a lot faster. And here's how we all know this, right? If we all, if you wanted to do business with your family, sometimes they might pull you down, right? Sometimes let me know in the chat how many of you can actually do business in your family with your family. Put a 0 in the chat if you can. Put a 1 in the chat if you wait, no, put a 0 in the chat if you cannot. Put a 1 in the chat if you can. I just want to show you all dynamic. So myself, we have a family business. When you see me, it's not just me. My brothers, my sisters, it's just my family. My niece is actually working with us right now. We've been able to make millions of dollars and impact thousands and like literally hundreds of thousands of people. Now you're going to be the next hundreds of people that we impact right now. And Joy has given you an opportunity to put yourself in a position of power. See, you may not get rich with your day ones, but you can get rich with your day twos. Somebody put business bestie in the chat. This is why we have you create business besties. This is why we have you collaborate with other people. So last thing I want to demonstrate to you is this, that when you think about Netflix, most people have Netflix account. Netflix uses this method as well. Last week, I used an example about Uber. This week, I'll do Netflix. Netflix had to renovate. Which industry did Netflix renovate? Which industry did Netflix renovate? Movie rental industry, right? Before it used to be pay-per-view, or it used to be go to the brick and mortar, pick up a video, and you have to bring it back. See, the issue with that is there's sometimes in certain states there's snow. You might miss a date. What happened if you missed the return date? What happened if you missed the return date? See, the issue with Redbox, you have to actually go outside. If it's snowing or if it's hurricaning or whatever, you know it's hard to do. So they redid it. And what they renovated was the way that it's operate. Instead of you coming to the store to get all the movies, we're gonna bring all the movies in the store to you. They innovated. They said, let's make an app. Let's allow them to watch all of their favorite TV shows and movies for one low rate. And then they collaborated. Before they got all of the big stars with Netflix, what they used to do is get all of the top YouTubers, right? Or all of the independent movies, and then also some of the movies that did well in the past. And then they started collaborating with the everyday person. And then after that, they then now collaborate with T-Mobile or Verizon, that now you can get Netflix included with your cell phone plan. Okay. So please understand they use this model. So if they use this model and they're a billion-dollar company that changed the industry, I would recommend that you use this to change your life and change your industry. Just like I've used this to go from $50,000 years doing graphics for Netflix and Roku, doing sales, to now having $50,000 days. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if you want to join me on this ride. Let me know in the chat. So everything that I'm giving you today is very important to success. And the reason why we want to move with speed is because if we move with speed, we're going to get a lot further faster. And part of it is eliminating baggage of the past. So what we're getting ready to experience is a guided meditation. If you've experienced a guided meditation before, put a 1 in the chat. If you haven't experienced a guided meditation, put a 2 in the chat. Okay, so I see a lot of people did the guided meditation, which is great. So that's what we're going to get into. So if you can, let's bring the energy down just a little bit. If we can go ahead and put the music on. What I would love for us to do is this. I would love for us to take a deep breath, inhale deeply. To your lungs at capacity. And I want you to slowly release through your mouth. Push the remaining air out through your nostril. Inhale deeply. Slowly release. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to see everything with your mind's eye. Notice your eyes are for looking, but your mind is for seeing. I want you to visualize everything that you saw before you close your eyes. That device you were on, the room you were in, the noise. And I want everything to disappear one by one until you're in this space of nothingness. Breathe. This space of nothingness is all white. You are safe. You are whole. You are complete. Breathe. For some of you, this may be emotional. Just breathe. As you are looking off into the distance of this white space, you notice something. You notice a door. By the door, there is this image that you see. As you look into the image, you notice some people, you notice something. What is on the image? Breathe. As you put the image out of sight, out of mind at the moment, you walk through that door, you touch the cold metal handles of the double doors, you open up one side, push the other side, and you walk through. On the other side, it's your dream home. It's your backyard, your dream kitchen with the island. It's your dream, your happy space, your safe space. Breathe. You're taking in the views, you're touching things, you're looking around, you're exploring. There's something amazing that's happening for you and to you. You realize life is happening through you, and you can feel it through your veins. You can feel it through the energy when you breathe. Your power. You notice someone off in the distance, and they look familiar, but they look different. As they approach you, you notice it's your higher self. Breathe. As you reach out and you touch your higher self for the first time, you feel this sensation, this magnetic pull, this attraction, this allure, this safety and encouragement. And you start having dialogue. What is that conversation like between you and your higher self? What is being said? I want you to take the downloads. What are you giving yourself permission to do in order to become your higher self? As you ask the questions to your higher self, what must I do to get to you? Allow yourself to listen to the higher self and just download the information. Breathe. As you're downloading this information and you're feeling this inspiration, this love, this connection, there's a tap, there's a voice, the tap on your left side. But you don't see anyone when you look down, but you hear that voice yelling. And as you turn around, it's your younger self standing on the playground, staring at you, calling you over, running up the playground, jungle gym to the top, goes down the slide and pops up and jumps right into your arms. As you catch your younger self, you grab them and you swing them around. You're having fun, you're laughing, you're joking, you're playing. Breathe. Your higher self comes over, and now you take the point of view of your younger self, staring at your current self and also looking at your higher self. Who did you want to become? Did you become who you wanted to become? Did you meet all of your dreams, your goals, your expectations as a young one? As you listen to your current self and you listen to your higher self, you're noticing a difference in language. You're noticing a difference in action. And most importantly, confidence. You hear noise and you hear scuffle and you hear people in the background. And then you see two people approach you. As those two people approach, you take the view of your higher self, staring at your younger self and your current self. And those two people take the child and say, "Thank you for taking care of my baby. Breathe. Thank you for taking care of my baby. You found her. You found him." As the parents walk off with the child in their arms, the child is looking back at you, waving, smiling, and you're looking at it from the viewpoint of your higher self. From your higher self, you approach your current self and you have a dialogue with your current self. What must you give up in order to receive? As you two embrace in this emotional moment with each other, as you hug, you feel your higher self disappear within your arm. And you're left there by yourself. What is your download? What is your message within the mess? As you think about that, what happens is everything starts to fade from that dreamlike scenario, but it feels so real. The time was here, and now the time is gone. Everything that you see starts to fade back into that white space of nothingness. You see that image once again, but what's changed about the image? What's different this time? Breathe. As everything starts to populate back into your reality, you notice everything that was there before. And I encourage you to open your eyes, see the device you're on, see the room that you're in, hear the noise of the people around you or the space that you're in. Come back to this call. Place you were in was the quantum realm. That's the realm where everything is created. Everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. If you need a moment to sit there in that space. If you are ready to join us, join us. I do encourage, if there's anyone who may have had an emotional moment, if anybody cried, if there was some sort of breakthrough for you, raise your virtual hand. I want you to come up. It's moving with speed for me. When we are moving with speed, in order for us to truly get to where we want to be, in this entrepreneur space or inside of our careers. We must get rid of the baggage that is unseen that has been holding us back. We like to call it trauma, but I like to call it the pain of the past. Okay. Raise your virtual hand. I only want someone who was really emotional. If you weren't emotional, you didn't cry, you didn't feel a sort of heightened sense of emotion, you could just put your takeaway in a Telegram. But for the time, I would love to have someone come up. Sunshine, Jasmine, either one. I think Sunshine is here. Sunshine, would you mind calling up the first person?
Sure. Hey, Demetrius, love. How are you?
I'm sorry. I don't know what that was, but that just really just made me see a lot of my future, but a lot of my past. And I broke down when the little girl came into the picture, my younger self. And I saw how confident, how tenacious she was, how she had all these dreams, and her family members look at her, my younger self, being so confident, achieving a lot at a young age. And then life happened and I grew up. And I realized I didn't have that confidence. I don't have that confidence like I used to have. And then my future self, reassured me that everybody has a different season. And now I'm coming into my season. And my future self told me to look back at the younger self. And she reminded me, she's still in you. You just haven't processed things the right way. You've allowed things to really get to you that has happened in life and achievements that you didn't achieve. But she said, you're going to get here. You're going to be okay. But you got to work. And that was the message. She said, you got to work. Work like you did with that little girl. When I wanted to be in a play, I worked hard. When I wanted to be in the sports, I didn't even know how to play basketball. I became a great basketball player. Didn't even know how to cheer. Became a cheerleader. And so my older self, my future self told me, go back to that younger version and find that fire. And it just hit me. I wasn't expecting this. This is a lot of transparency on my part. So thank you. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. Everyone send some love in the chat. I would love to give some insight on this really fast. I would love for you to think about not holding on to the younger girl and letting her go. That's just for you to think about. Think about that. On Thursday, we'll do a follow-up guided meditation. You don't want to miss that one. That's something that will shake you. If you're here, it will be a transformative moment. Everyone send some love to Ms. Nelson in the chat. Thank you, Ms. Nelson. We appreciate you 100%. Love the vulnerability. In order for you to get to where you want to be, you have to be confident and you have to be where you're at. Don't take the hands down. When you bring them up on the screen, team, don't take the hands down. Leave the hands up on the screen. Thank you. Who do we have, Miss Sunshine? Sorry, Miss Sunshine. Who do we have, Sunshine? Sunshine doesn't like what I call a miss. Go ahead.
Hey, love, Crystal T. Talk to us, honey.
Hi. What I experienced was very, very powerful. In looking at my younger self, I initially, when I closed my eyes, and you said, walk into through the door and see your future or what you wanted to see in your future. And I saw myself, but I saw myself in that space as a child, my future as a child, but I have not attained that. And what I realized was within my journey, I have been denying myself. And whether that was implanted in me as a child that I could not have, that I should not desire that, I never really reached for it. But what I know now for sure is that it's okay for me to have a dream to reach higher and to attain it. And I know that I will, simply because I was drawn to Joy. I was drawn to her. And what she said to me in that first master class was, I have been denying my God-given gift to the world. And that isn't right. That's not what God wants for us. And seeing my parents take my younger self away and seeing myself wave goodbye, I felt a release. I felt that, I feel that I am going to grow through this and I am going to attain the things that God wants me to have, because I can't do for others if I don't reach those goals. And that's what my life is for. It's not just for myself. I have to be blessed in order to be able to bless others. I have a desire to do that, but I cannot give what God wants me to give if I don't become the best that I can be in this life right now. Now is my time.
Okay, I love that. I love that, Crystal. I want you to really stay in this moment, though. Stay in this moment, breathe. When we're present in this moment, we get gifted with things. This is why we call it the present. So I would love for everyone to be present with where they're at, with how they feel. If you do not move, what is your penalty for inactivity? If you do not give your gift to the world, you do not get the gold. You don't give the gift, you don't give the gold. You don't go through the story, you don't get the glory. Make sense? So if what's your penalty for inactivity if you do not show up?
I fail myself and I fail all of those that are around me. Most importantly, I fail myself because I am not fulfilling my true purpose in life. And I know that. And what I also know and have learned is that I'm going to have to fight and I'm going to have to work hard to get there, because I have been
Okay,
conditioned.
wait. 1 second. Got to get closer for this. I want us to change the language. Think about this for a second. Are you a person of love?
Yes.
If you had to fight, would that help you or would that hurt you? Like if you had to fight, just naturally outside in the world, if you had to fight, would that help you or hurt you?
It would.
I don't want you to
It would.
overthink. Just think about it. I want you.
It would probably hurt me.
Like if you had to, and I want to know from everyone, if you had to hurt someone else, would it hurt you to hurt someone else? I understand a situation could be dire. If you had to fight for your life and you had to do, I get that part. But just naturally thinking, if you had to hurt someone else, does it hurt you? Some of us are going to say no. Some of us are going to say yeah. The point that I'm making
Yes, it would
is
hurt me.
I want you to be in alignment with what you actually want. And I know it may seem small, may seem remedial, but let me do this really fast before we continue to go. It is 9:35, which means that we come to a stop. Do you want me to continue for 10 more minutes only? Sunshine, what do you say? Team, y'all let me know
Yes.
in the chat. Everyone let me know in the chat. All right. You say yeah?
Yes.
All right. So we only
Yes.
have 10. Okay. So we have to move the speed for this next 10, okay? Here we go. So I'll put a poll up, make sure everyone fill the poll out so that way we can get that part done.
I'll do that.
Cool. So for you, I want you to think that speak your life. Whatever you feel, you're going to make it real. So when you say, I got to fight and I got to claw and I got to scratch to get to where I want to be, well, then that's what's going to happen. Do you want that life, or would you rather have a life that is in alignment? So everywhere you go, it feels like you're in flow. Because I want you all to be in flow state. I don't need you all scrambling and fighting, crab in a barrel. I need you in flow state. Everything is easy and effortlessly. All you're doing is just putting in a little work. Okay. So for you, I want you to change your language to match your vision, to match your life. What do you want? Yes, you're going to have to put some work in, but you don't have to fight. Right? We don't want to kill two birds with one stone. We just want to be more effective in less time. So let's start speaking the way we want things to show up, so that way we can see it when it does show up. Okay. So that's my consideration to you. Any last thing you want to say before we let you go?
Yes, what I meant by fight is the mental battle that younger self was telling me that I cannot have, and I have to fight to get those things out of my head, and knowing that I deserve the things that I desire in life. That's what I meant by that.
All right. Do you want me to give you some challenge, or you want me to let you go off the screen? Because there's a whole
Challenge.
thing I could do right now. You do?
I love the
Okay. So you saw how
challenge.
you
Yes.
fought me on that? Did you see how you
Yeah.
fought me on that? You saw that?
Yes. Yes.
Anybody else in real time see that how her language created her reality? How she couldn't wait. I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna listen to what he says, but then I'm gonna let him know exactly what I was wanting to say anyway. This is what shows up in your life.
Okay.
You see how you wanted to fight me so bad because of your language. So I can let you win and go, all right, cool, and let you win. Or I can help you see difficulty differently. Which one? Do you want to win, or do you want difficulty differently? Your choice.
Difficulty different. I want to win. Difficulty different. I want to learn and grow.
Okay. So your language is the remote control to how you're going to see things. How you see things is the remote control to your feelings. Are we starting to see something? So your language that's telling yourself how you see it tells yourself how to internalize it. And then guess what? When it's internalized, it shows up externally. So what I'm saying to you is, I knew exactly what you meant as far as fighting your mental battles. But what I want you to get, though, is that you're creating that. Do you get that, or do you think that that's happening to you?
No,
Like
I
that, the fight
understand.
that you're referring to, you do know that you created it, right? That's like this. That's like you create a situation. It's like, oh man, now you're fighting about the situation that you created when you could just create a different version of the situation.
I understand.
I'm gonna let you sit on. I'm gonna let you sit on that. I'm gonna let you sit on that. If
Thank
anybody
you.
else
Thank you.
Yana's with that, I want you to go ahead and put Yana in the chat. Great job. Great job. Thank you for being vulnerable and
Thank you.
transparent. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you. I'm super proud of you today. You've done a lot. You cried, you laughed, you learned, you did a whole bunch of things today. You definitely elevated a
Thank
little
you.
bit. Due to the fact of time constraints, I'm not going to be able to get to everyone unless we keep it short. So Eve, and I think Yvette is up there. I don't know. Let me get close and see. I could just go over there and look. Yeah, Yvette and Eve. We'll bring you up. But that means I can't go on the whiteboard today. What that means, I'll do it tomorrow. And that means we're gonna have a jam-packed class tomorrow where you're actually gonna learn and do some work. Okay. So cool. Let's bring them up. Let's bring them up.
Okay, Eve, you have to put your camera on, love, in order to be brought up. How you doing, love, Yvette?
Good morning, everyone. Mine is going to be short and sweet. I thank you. It was very emotional. I did understand everything that you were saying, and I seen when I was younger. It shows that I was very excited with all these dreams, different things. What it also showed me is that I allow self to get into the way. I have to be the one to move Yvette out of the way completely, and not want to keep picking up that wheel when God is taking me in another direction. that is my biggest challenge. I allow self to get into the way, and I always like to take total control and not always want to listen, but to do things my way. And that's where I noticed that when I was younger, I have always had the dreams, the aspirations, still have them, but I allow things to get into the way to say, okay, you know what? How are you going to do it this way? I don't have the know-how. I don't have the different things to proceed that way. And sometimes not want to listen to different things. So mine's is short and sweet.
Okay.
I know I have to move myself out of the way in order for God to do what he needs to do and take total control.
Okay, we hear your plan, but what's your penalty for inactivity? If you don't do it, what happens?
I'll still be where I'm at now. Stop. I will still, if I don't do it and move into the action, it defeats the purpose. So I have to be the one to put it into action, not just talk about it, but then also I have to do it as well.
Okay. So I like the answer, but I think that's just a generic answer, right? So I would love for you to think of the perspective that you will not be the same. You would actually be worse off because things deteriorate and get worse over time. And if it's not tended to, so if we don't tend to it, we won't be the same, be worse off. Now, what is a consequence? What's your penalty for inactivity? Give me a real penalty that you impose on yourself. If you do not move yourself out the way, what don't you get to have? Or what do you have to do now as a consequence?
Well, I have to move myself out the way and not always think that I have to be totally in control. So that's that ego.
Okay. So, all right, cool. What I want you to do, this is how I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out through a forgiveness challenge. This is a homework for everyone. For you specifically, because I asked you a specific question. How explicit can I be with you anyway?
You can.
I need a real answer behind this. How explicit can I be with you?
I'm here. Speak what you have to speak.
All right. So
Yes.
the reason why I'm asking this is to demonstrate to you, but also so you can answer it, because that's just part of it's part of what you're dealing with, right? It's part of what you're dealing. When you have control, I'm asking you a question and you're not answering the actual question. That's part of your control in real time. You might not see it, but that's part of it. How explicit can I be with you?
I want you to be completely very transparent with me. I want you to be open with me, and I want you to speak truth.
Ah, that's it. Now you're allowing people to be honest with you. See, a lot of times when we are in control, we don't care about people being honest with us. We don't want people to be honest with us. In fact, I really don't even care about what you think. I'm going to tell you that I'm honest with you, and I'm going to tell you how I feel. So that's how people are, right? And I want to break down that paradigm. So for you, you have to get complete with some people. And this goes for everybody for the homework. For homework, I want you to call up somebody, call up someone who you might have had a falling out with. It could be a relationship with a significant other, friend, family, does not matter. There is a relationship that you have that you need to repair, that you've been avoiding, and it's been causing you trauma, and you might not even realize it. Everyone is to do this exercise. If you do not have a person to call, you need to find one. Okay, you really need to find one, because I could give you the cop-out way to do it, which would be to write a letter to yourself. And in fact, hey, this is your life. You choose what you want. If you rather go the cop-out way and write a letter to yourself, go do it. But I would prefer you to reach to someone else. And when you call them up, this is what you say to them. Make sure y'all write this down, pay attention. When you call them, you speak to them, you don't say anything that they did wrong. Mandy, they're probably avoiding you because you call them names or you probably tell them what they did wrong. No, I'm joking, but this is for everyone. You do not call them and tell them anything about how they made you feel. Anything. You don't say anything. I said that, I'm stressing that. All you do is say this. Hey, I want to say thank you for everything that you provided to me in my life. I have so much clarity, and I want to apologize to you for any inconvenience or any wrongdoing that I've done to you. I noticed I wasn't being my higher self, my best self, and I apologize, and I want to make sure that you just know how much you mean to me. Thank you. That is it. If they want to keep going in the conversation and they keep talking and they keep saying stuff, all right, cool. But you still hold your composure in your control, and you do not, I repeat, do not say anything that they did wrong to you at all, ever throughout the conversation. Okay? All right, good job. I want you to post it. I want you to post your response, not your response, but your takeaway from the challenge inside the group chats. So if it's Telegram, do it in Telegram. If it's in Facebook, do it in Facebook. But I want you to put that there. The takeaway would be something like your summary or the download you got from doing the exercise. That's all I want you to put in there. So let us know who you spoke to, and then the takeaway. Some people
Okay.
got bold and they recorded the conversation. Okay, I'm not saying do that, but I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Kim.
You see, Crystal, put the mics on mute so that we would clear. Crystal Clark said, "What if they're the ones that need to apologize to you?" Yeah, that's the point of this exercise, is that you will apologize to them, and I don't want you to cheat the process. So just follow what the coach says, run the play, and then you come back and tell us what happened. But if I tell you why it would happen and tell you all of these things, then you would cheat the process, because naturally that's what we do. You do not email. If they don't take your call, all right, give them a text message or an email if they don't take your call. Okay? If they don't, find somebody else. Find somebody. I'm quite sure when you go in your contacts, you have 100 people that you can speak to. Quite sure. So here's the wording again for everyone. When you get on the phone, you do not make them wrong. You only call them up and you apologize for any inconvenience, any wrongdoing you've done. And you thank them for everything they have done in your life, and you let them know how important they are to your life. Even if you think you don't have issues with anybody currently, there's somebody in your life where you had some type of falling out with, or you don't speak to, or you didn't get to share how powerful they were in your life. Find somebody. It's easy to say I don't have anybody. Trust me. I've done this exercise back in 2019 when it's so easy to find. I don't have anybody. I'm good. I'm good. And if you're not good, I mean, if you are good, you're good. Not everybody has a problem. Like, it is what it is. But then in that case, you write a letter to yourself. Let's bring up Eve. Let's bring the last person up, and let's close out. This mom said, Max, I got to sip on it some more because I was talking too much. Ooh, thing tasty. It's
Can you
delicious.
hear me?
Yes, we
Hello.
can.
Yes.
Greetings, everyone. I just want to take this moment and tell you thank you, thank you, thank you. This is exactly what I needed today. I was feeling overwhelmed. I just wanted to also say I'm the total opposite. I call myself the positivity queen, and people say that I'm always positive and thinking the easiest way to accomplish stuff. So my goal is that my next goal I'm working on is to acquire a luxury laundromat. I have no money, I have no credit, nothing, anything like that. But I feel like I want to get it done like by December, but I don't know. Like everybody, I think I mentioned it yesterday, and it's like I felt like I'm putting I always say dream big, but like I need to come back, regroup, organize, get it together. But I would love to be in your mentorship if you're part of the Joy. I just want to be in your circle like, what do I need to do? And I want to say thank you and good morning to everyone.
I love it. I love it. Everyone send some love in the chat to Eve. 100%. Yes. When you lock in with Joy, you lock in with me. 100%. So we want to make sure you lock in. Stay tuned to the entire 5 days, because we're going to give everybody an opportunity to get coaching for longer term, and that is a way that you'll work with me. So I want you all to think about this. You're renting out this space. Joy has provided this immaculate space for you to grow, learn, not only in your business, but as a person. So if this is a space for you and you feel the community and you feel the environment that you can grow in, then yes, you want to lock in your spot. So 100% Eve, we'll continue to talk throughout this week. So you'll be right online and right in alignment with what we got going on. Okay.
Thank you.
Also, oh, no problem. No problem. Everyone send some love in the chat to Eve. I'm not saying this to everyone though, but a lot of times if you do invest, right, great things come from out of it in ways you couldn't even imagine. When you all look at Sunshine, Sunshine opens up. Sunshine was just like you, and this was our this is our big ticket program where she paid. How much you paid, Sunshine? $25,000, right, to join the community. And literally now she's a coach, a leader, a leadership director. And life has changed in a lot of ways, but the work still has to get done. Okay, so that's one thing I want to say to everybody. The work still has to get done. There could be opportunities for you when you get in on the inside that you can be part of the team. That's part of it. But you do have to invest in order to even get that opportunity. So there's not going to be just picking out people and but when you invest, that's an opportunity. So once again, I want to say this to you all. You are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop. As we come to the close, I want to read the end of these polls results. So let's look at it. When we talk about moving with speed, in order to truly move with speed, what I want everyone to think about is this. If you're carrying a lot of baggage, a lot of pain from the past, how quickly can you really move? Put a 1 in the chat if you resonate with this. You get into a relationship or you have an argument or something with a family member or a friend, and throughout the entire day, you're thinking about the argument, even though the argument is over already. And it's consuming your day. And you start to think about it. You can't operate at your highest. Imagine a lifetime of that. And some people might say, what does this have to do with money? This has everything to do with money, because if you cannot move the pain of the past, you can't have the fruitful future that you deserve. So let's look at the polls. It says, when it comes to tough combos, what's your first instinct? 42% said rip the Band-Aid off. So when you rip the Band-Aid off, you just get right to it. How many of us have those tough conversations? Put that 1 in the chat just to make sure. And also, Eve, this reminded me, optimism. Right. So has less to do about positivity, because most people get, flustered about positivity, has more to do with optimism. If you're optimistic, and that's what I love about what Eve shared, she's very optimistic about life. And that is what creates opportunities. All right, let's continue to go. Some people said, I think it was 10% people said that they avoid the tough combos at all costs, and 23 said that they overthink and stall. I want you to think about what you're saying and how you're responding in this poll, okay? As we move on to question 2, it says, what would giving forgiveness free up for you the most? 33 people said mental space, 39% said emotional energy. Yeah, let's be honest here. We can't operate at our highest capacity if we're thinking about what somebody did yesterday, or we're thinking about what we're going to say in the conversation. And in fact, let me know in the chat, put a 2 in the chat if this is you, where you had a conversation ended, you're thinking about it all day, but you want to continue the conversation. So now you're thinking about all the things you need to say when the conversation comes back again. You're preparing for the conversation. You're like, you know what? I'm going to say this next time because it done got me messed up. I know I should have said this. I wanted to say that. I didn't say it, but now I'm going to say it now. And then when you go to say the thing, you forget what you planned on saying anyway. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You done planned to say everything that you wanted to say and then forgot what you was going to say anyway and never said it. You see how these things be holding you? And then think about it. You was planning the whole entire time to say this thing that you never said. When you were planning for, you could have been doing something else. That's what we talk about. This is what we wasted our time, okay? This is what we wasted our time. Anyway, forgiveness challenge. Make sure you do the forgiveness challenge. Mandy, stop freestyling. Stop freestyling. All right, last question. It says, if you could get closure with one person, who would it be? A past business partner, a family member, an ex, an old friend, someone I haven't thought of in a while. 40% of people said a family member. 29 said an ex or old friend. 23 said someone they haven't thought of in a while. And 8% said a past business partner. I want you to think about your results. I'm going to share the results so everyone can see them. Okay. I want you to think about your answers. For everyone who may have lost a loved one, on Thursday, we're going to do a guided meditation that involves loss of loved one. Also, you can use the guided meditations to tap into speaking to those people. This may seem like something that is far-fetched, but this is a superpower that you have that the world tried to shut down for you. This is why they fill your mind up with a whole bunch of stuff, okay? So as we get ready to come to a close on this, I want us to pick our energy back up. And I want us to realize that you are the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop. I want you to go get the homework done. The homework will be inside of the Telegram group. And as I mentioned, I already stated it. So make sure you post it, whether inside the Telegram or inside the Facebook or wherever you're at. Make sure you post the homework there. Okay, let's bring the energy back up. I want you to go execute. We have class tonight, so don't forget, be early. Make sure you are early for class. Tomorrow we have a jam-packed day because I literally have to fit in what we were supposed to do today and what we got to do tomorrow. So make sure you're early tomorrow because we're starting fast. Okay, we're not raising the hands. We're not coming up, bringing up anyone to speak. I'm going right into the lesson. Okay, great job, everyone. Can we send a request to have everybody come off of mute? I know that was a tough day. I know. But breathe. You got that part out. It's time for elevation.
Thank you.
Heavy, heavy, heavy.
Make some noise. Snap it up, clap it up.
Thank you. For that guided meditation.
I did not have to raise the hand.
Morning, let's
Woo!
start.
Let's
Let's
get it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow your YouTube.
That was great.
How'd I get up there?
Awesome.
Have an amazing day, everybody.
Cool.
Everybody be
Yes,
great.
You do the same.
Blessings.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Bye. That homework done.
Thank you.
See, everything is temporary. What I do with my time is what matters. I want to make sure I impact every single soul that I come in contact with. I can't do it by myself. If I'm going to change the world, I'm going to inspire the world, I'm going to need other people. I'm going to need you. I'm going to need your support. And if I can have your attention, please, I want you to stand up. I want you to clap it up. I want you to snap it up. I want you to make so much noise because your next level is loaded.